Hey everyone, I'm Heather Vitale, your host for Post Time. Our first state-bred freshman stepped into the spotlight recently. So let's check out who made it to victory lane in their rich finals. And each of these 2-year-old Delaware Standardbred Breeders' Fund events, which took place at Harrington Raceway during their fall meet, had a purse of $110,000. To kick things off, let's see our first state-bred male pacers in action as C. Millertimeagain got to the wire first.
3/4, 124 and 3/5. They're midway on the final turn, coming toward the top of the stretch. Watch him win. On the outside is up to join the leader. Watch him win. See Millertimeagain. They straighten away now. Watch him win on the outside, up after the lead, coming through the stretch. Watch him win. See Millertimeagain fighting hard. They come toward the wire. See Millertimeagain is still there. See Millertimeagain upsets. Watch him win in 153-1.
C. Millertimeagain, owned by trainer Irv Miller, Joellen Frawley, and James Knowlton, led the way around the half-mile oval to win by a neck. The 2-year-old son of Roddy's Bags Again, who was bred by Pam Schott, crossed the finish line in 153-1. Winning driver Corey Callahan joined Matt Sparacino in victory lane for an interview.
Corey, a lot of people, when looking at this race, just assumed it was a foregone conclusion with the 6. Watch him win with how impressive he looked in the first 2 eliminations. Things didn't go that way, though. Tell us about C. Millertimeagain.
Yeah, he was pretty good his first start. We were just kind of like, tweaking with him a little bit. Last week he won really handy here in 53-28 on the end of it. And, my plan was to head out of there and really just follow Timmy around there. Going into the first, coming out of the first turn, I looked to see who was on my back, and it was Alan. So, I went ahead and said, well, I'm going to take my shot and make him beat me first up, and it worked out.
Of course, having the rail certainly was probably something that played into your hand there. And after you got to the half in 56-2 pretty comfortably, were you feeling pretty confident at that point?
Yeah, I felt really good. Timmy's horse has been so good all year, so I knew it was going to be quite the battle, but coming out of the last turn, my Colt still felt good, and I could tell that he was starting to call on his a little bit, and we battled right to the wire, and my Colt prevailed.
The He's Watchings have been kind of the upstart stallion here in Delaware as far as the pacing side, but this was a Roddy's Bags Again who's had a lot of success over the years. What's been your experience with that sire and his offspring?
Yeah, he's done really well. He's getting up there in age. I think it helps, too. This mare is, the dam is by some beach somewhere. So, people are starting to breed some better mares in Delaware. And, it's starting to show. A lot of the He's Watchings look so good. A lot of that has to do with Eric Cherry and Odds On Racing. They have an exceptional band of brood mares, and they're breeding some good horses to them. So, I think you're going to see a lot more stars in the future.
Congratulations, Corey Callahan, and all the connections of C. Millertimeagain.
Now let's take a look at the pacing fillies as Warren's Charm took home the winner's share in DSBF Finals competition.
3/4, 127 around the final turn, and Warren's Charm has gone up and gotten the lead as they come toward the top of the stretch. It's Warren's Charm. Whereas Bell back to second. On the outside, that's Such a Sporty Girl, followed by Odds On Put Option is fourth, coming through the stretch. Warren's Charm has got the lead coming toward the wire. It'll be Warren's Charm to win it easily. Warren's Charm's in front.
Warren's Charm, owned by Rodney Wyatt and trainer Jason Skinner, wins in dominant fashion by over 5 lengths. The daughter of He's Watching was bred by Odds On Norir and scored her victory in 155-4 with Art Stafford Jr. driving. We heard from the winning connections after the big final.
Art, tell us about your thoughts going into the race and if any decisions changed once you saw a couple of the other contenders there going off stride.
That definitely helped us for sure. It's going to be a tough road to go from the outside here with a couple of the favorites inside and maybe not get a spot or a spot. So she raced good.
When both the 1, 2, and 5 all breaking there, did that prompt your decision to be a little bit more aggressive earlier in the mile, or were you intent on trying to get position early with the outside post there?
With this filly, I figured if I could land in the middle of the pack somewheres and just come with her late, she'd be fine. She likes to hunt a horse down, and she's done everything right so far for us this year anyways.
She was so impressive in the overnight starts there, and now she's won 4 or 5. Tell us about your early impressions of this filly and the job Jason Skinner and his team have done with her.
They've done a great job with her. She does everything you're supposed to do with a horse and does everything you want her to do.
Congratulations, Art. We'll bring trainer Jason Skinner in. Jason, congratulations on the win here with Warren's Charm. Tell us about your thoughts going into the race when you saw the draw come out and her having post 7 outside a couple of the big favorites.
I was really hoping for an inside draw. We had the 8-hole last week, had to scratch. She was a little sick. So we just tried to get her healthy, and I figured if she was healthy, she could have a big run.
You've campaigned a lot of young horses through the course of your career and had some good ones. How does this one stack up, and did you know you had a good one early on?
Yeah, we were pretty high on this filly all year. She's pretty natural gaited. We actually broke her brother for Pat Barry, and she has a lot of the same attributes, but she was a little bit more gamer early on. So we were high on her. I don't know where she stacks up so far, but we have had some nice fillies.
Tell us about the decision to scratch her last week, and did you feel she was all systems go here tonight, or where you wanted her to be as far as health going into the final?
Yeah, she was healthy. As far as that is where I wanted her. I didn't think she was conditioned quite enough, but it worked out, and I knew if she was healthy, it would be better than being tight.
Well, there was a big cheering section here tonight for Team Skinner. Congratulations on the win with Warren's Charm in the DSBF final.
Next, we'll check out the Delaware Standardbred Breeders' Fund trotting fillies, and it was Tuis Star crossing the wire first in her division.
They go by 3/4, 130 and 4/5. They make their way around the final turn, and Tuis Star clear of Wolfpack 1. 2 or 3 lengths further back, Dancing Willow. Then comes Emery's Angel, trotting in 4th. They come toward the top of the stretch, ready to turn for home, and Tuis Star opens up by 3 lengths. Racing in 2nd, Wolfpack 1, then it's Dancing Willow and Emery's Angel. They come through the stretch, and pulling away is Tuis Star. Tuis Star draws up, wins easy. Down the inside for 2nd, Dancing Willow. Tuis Star, Dancing Willow, then comes Wolfpack 1 and Emery's Angel. Time for the mile, 1:59 and 4.
Tuis Star, owned by Don Wiest and David Wiest, was the favorite and definitely performed like it with an impressive victory. She's also trained by David Wiest. The daughter of E.L. Platinum was bred by Ed Kimmel and Don Wiest and scored her win in 1:59 and 4 by 5 lengths. And in the bike was Corey Callahan.
Corey, going into this race, she was the big favorite despite the outside post. How confident were you once you saw the draw?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really figure it mattered where I drew. I just needed to kind of keep her out of trouble, and was able to do that. I had to move a little bit earlier than I wanted to, but, she's done everything so easy thus far, and, she just cruised tonight.
She's had a pretty good education already early in her career. She won from off the pace in both eliminations. She seemed to handle the track okay?
Yeah, she's handled the track great. She got her. He wanted to qualify her, just so I could get a feel for her. And I was like, just bring her to Chester. Don't worry about coming all the way to Harrington. And, I knew once she got here, she'd be just fine.
2-year-old trotters are widely recognized as the most unpredictable group of horses. How confident can you be when you're driving a filly like this?
Yeah, I've had a little bit of luck with these E.L. Platinum fillies. The breed in Delaware has come a long way. These horses are a lot more, athletic and gifted. You don't really have to hold on to them as much. And the trainers have done a great job, getting them rigged up and everything. So, I felt really good with this filly tonight.
Well, congratulations to Team Wiest, trainer Dave Wiest and Don Wiest for their win with the EL Platinum filly Tuis Star, and to you, Corey Callahan, in the 2-year-old filly trotting final.
Finally, let's bring in our freshman male trotters as we saw Thiskissformaryell triumph in his rich $110,000 Delaware bred final.
They make their way over toward 3/4. They go by in 1:31 2/5, and they're on the final turn. Thiskissformaryell, Pappy's Deal, Prime Yield on the outside. With the rail, come on, Miller, Wingspan alongside. They come toward the top of the stretch, ready to turn for home. And Thiskissformaryell comes off the turn, leading by 2 lengths over Pappy's Deal. Prime Yield is still third. They're at the top of the stretch now, turning for home. Thiskissformaryell's got a 2-lane lead. Pappy's Deal coming down the passing lane. They come toward the wire. Pappy's Deal after Thiskissformaryell. Pappy's Deal down the rail. Noses apart.
Thiskissformaryell, owned by Nanacoke Racing, James Magno and Joe Fonte, did the work on the front and held on by a nose to win. The son of Iron Mine Bucky, also bred by James Magno and Joe Fonte, is conditioned by Les Givens and took home the victory in 2:01 3. Matt Sparacino caught up with driver Jim Morand in the winner's circle.
Jimmy, this horse has been so solid so far, 7 career starts. With the draw came out post 8. What were your thoughts going in?
I didn't like the draw. I mean, I'd like to have been inside, but the way it worked out, We got there first.
Tell us about this horse. And of course, you and Les, great friends, have had a lot of success over the years. You've won a lot of races with young trotters. How much do you think his experience came into play here with him being one of the more experienced trotters in the field, this being his 8th career start?
Yeah, I mean, he's been racing really good. I've only really asked him to leave a couple times, but tonight we had to leave pretty good out of the 8-hole. And when we got there, I thought we'd be all right. And we were getting a little tight at the wire there, but he just held on.
Yeah, that was quite a stretch battle there with you and Pappy's Deal sitting to your back. Were you sure that you got it at the end, or were you waiting for the photo?
It was tight. I knew if he got me, it'd have been the last step, but I thought I held on.
Well, congratulations to you, Jimmy, trainer Les Givens, and owners Jim Magno, Joe Fonte, all great people in our business. And this horse is named after racing writer Ted Black's mother, Mary Ellen Black, who's in attendance tonight and I'm sure celebrating right now. Thiskissformaryell takes the 2-year-old Colt and Gelding final.
A big overall congratulations goes out to our freshman Delaware Standardbred Breeders' Fund final winners. And don't forget that there will be another round of $110,000 DSBF finals taking place later in the month right here at Bally's Dover.